May is here again, and we're celebrating spring. What are some of your favorite parts of spring? What do you like to do?
Do yard work.
Yeah.
Mow the yard and keep the grass clean, cut, and everything else, and then make sure everything's perfect. You know, just make sure everything's moving smooth, you know.
I really admire your garden. Your hard work from the fall has really paid off. The tulips and daffodils are amazing.
Yes. Yeah, me and Nurse Susan planted them, and we're going to plant some roses too.
This time of year in May, we also look forward to our breakfast with friends. Do you remember last year's breakfast?
Yes, I was talking in an interview from your brother.
That's right. And this year's especially something that we're celebrating.
Right.
What is that?
10 years.
That's right, 10 years for L'Arche St. Louis.
And please, if you want to look at our 10 years on May the 27th, please help us out.
Welcome to the St. Louis Riverfront, everyone. I'm Fox 2 Sports Director Martin Kilquin, although in the L'Arche circles, I'm simply known as Paula's brother. I thought it was interesting to be here. They've done all the renovations. The arch, the grounds look beautiful, and the Arch is a St. Louis institution, and really now L'Arche, celebrating its 10th anniversary, has also become something St. Louis is learning more and more about. And I could talk all day about L'Arche and the Arch, but you know what? My sister is here. You saw her earlier in the video. We've dragged her down to the Arch grounds as well. Executive Director at L'Arche St. Louis. Paula is here, and boy, the breakfast, I love this event every year because we had everybody together, but now 2 years in a row, we've had to do a little bit differently. We've gone virtual, but I think the great thing is it lives on. People can watch it a week later, a month later, even a year later.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Last year, we were so grateful to surpass our goal of $100,000. You remember the thermometer? We're gonna have it again later today. You'll see it popping up as we are receiving donations. But last year we also kicked off our Heart of L'Arche Society, the friends and supporters that have sustained us through your friendship, through your donations, have kept us healthy in every way throughout this pandemic, and we are so grateful. So those 300 members and more, we're gonna welcome more Heart of L'Arche members today.
Do you get people saying, L'Arche, are you guys associated with that arc downtown? Do you get that?
Yes, we do.
No affiliation, but again, two St. Louis institutions. The Arch has been around a little longer, but L'Arche is now well established in town. We're going to talk to people who are instrumental in what you guys do, the program itself. And the beauty of having Martin on tape is I can be edited, Paula. Your whole life you've wanted me to be edited down, I'm assuming.
Right, that's right. Martin's always supported my L'Arche work. Many, many years ago, I was in another city, then came home to St. Louis, and helping to continue planting hope and changing lives in the St. Louis area. So grateful for these 10 years.
And how about the musical soundtrack? Somebody's playing the bagpipes in the background. We got helicopters going. We have a lot of activity, and we have a great program, so let's get to it. And since we're celebrating a decade in St. Louis, we wanted to get some of the original founding members, and we have Pauline and Justin, part of our program today, telling their story. Guys, coming down the Arch, this is kind of fun, like a field trip today, but tell us about the early days. And Justin, we'll start with you. What did you know about L'Arche, and what were those first days like?
Well, the first days were pretty exciting, and you know, we had this house over in Maplewood, and there was a lot of work getting it ready, and so when I moved in, and it was, I think, beginning of May 2011, and there was still a lot of painting to be done. I remember the smell of paint, and lots of bedrooms. So yeah, and like picking up donations, getting things ready for the first core members to move in. So yeah, it was fun, and you know, we were kind of taking it day by day and figuring it out as we went. If you could do a time lapse from then to now, is it believable, kind of everything that's taken place and the growth that's happened? Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that it's been this quick, that we now have 3 houses and an office space, and it's just a bigger crew, a bigger group, and a lot more friends. Pauline, what do you remember about? You're an original member there. You get to wear that title around. What do you remember about the early days, and what did you know about L'Arche?
I found out from one of the ladies, And then I moved in, and my room was ready, and I got the first room.
You got the first room. Good for you. And what's the experience been like? What does it mean? Tell people at home watching that don't know, what's it like living in a large house?
Do all these fun things.
So it's a lot of fun. Do you like the other people too? Is it really a community?
Yes. Like Justin said, those 3 homes. We used to do our karaoke, but because of COVID, we can't do that anymore. We do it online. Sometimes we do it on the computer when we have it. So,
Hold on, you said COVID has cost us karaoke? They've gone too far now.
yeah.
So when we get karaoke back, what are you going to be singing? What's your song? Do you have a go-to?
I like to frequently find time to live in Lucille.
Oh, picked Fine Time to Leave Me Lucia. Okay. I'm going to hold you to that. Maybe for next year, live at our breakfast, will you perform that?
Sure.
And Justin, tell us about the camaraderie, what takes place on a daily basis. People that are watching that maybe haven't been there.
Yeah, when I was thinking about what things were like in the beginning, it's a lot of the same stuff, like cooking together, praying together, hanging out, laughing.
Pauline, how have you seen the community change from that first day when you got your room? How has it changed?
It was really weird.
That first days were? Yeah, and how has it changed since then?
Pretty good.
Yeah, in what ways? In what ways has it changed?
I'm sleeping better. Not so weird. And it's comfortable. Yeah.
So if you were to tell somebody about L'Arche, what would you say?
Join L'Arche.
Join L'Arche. What would you sell them on? Give them a sales pitch.
Talk to Paula about it.
Your sales pitch is to talk to Paula. I like that. What do you like best about living in a L'Arche home?
Get lots of friends.
And now we'd like to thank our sponsors, starting with our inspiring leaders, W. Grant Williams III, AT&T, in honor of their CFO John Stevens' retirement, the 2021 L'Arche St. Louis Board of Directors, David and Nancy Danny, John and Joan Vatterat, and the Barman family. And we continue to thank our sponsors with the community builders, Tom and Dale Offenberg, the Kilcoyne Ball family, and the Santon family. And we'd like to thank some of our supporters for this annual breakfast. SLU College of Public Health and Social Justice, the law offices of Coulter Lamson, Mission Taco, Dan and Sandy Sachere, the Congregation of Christ Lutheran Church in Webster Groves, Paul and Kathleen Anderson, the family of Mary Kate Annual, Team Mary Kate Annual, Mary Kate's siblings by birth and by marriage, and also an anonymous sponsor in gratitude and support of the love and care that L'Arche St. Louis gives its core members. And now it's time for our featured speaker, one of the great moments during our breakfast. Every year, somebody gets up and shares their story. And you may remember Michael McDonald, the documentary filmmaker who has done stories about people with disabilities all around the world. Michael also went to Notre Dame. They like to tell you that if they went to Notre Dame. And this year he's invited back, along with a special guest. We have Nick Hurd, who is an actor from L'Arche Soul Express Drama Troupe. He's out of Toronto, Canada. So it's Nick and Michael together as our featured speakers.
My name is Nicholas Hurd. My role is the head of the creative advocacy. I did work in retail before. It was Mark's Work Warehouse and Zellers. Mark's Work Warehouse, I was kind of treated differently because of my disability. I wasn't the best job and the best experience. I was put in the back, not on the floor. I know I didn't mind working back there. I wish I had the option and that freedom to work on the floor, but they put me in the back so no one can see me. I was kind of a bit hurt by them. When they asked me to come back, I said, no, I'm not coming back. I don't want to go through that again. I'm not going to go back to being cut back. But being part of Soul Express, I got that large pride. Because for one, I wanted to shine more. Like shine my light more. I'm very confident. Very, very confident about life and about freedom and about truth and beauty. That's me. That's who I am. I learned from mistakes and I used them to be a more responsible person. That's how I thrive. Making mistakes, learning from them, taking ownership of it, and keep moving forward. I feel more freedom now. I feel more freedom working with you, out of the fans. That's a lot of fun. L'Arche is important to me because it's about bringing in communities. It's about inclusion, awareness, and family. Because here in L'Arche, we're a family. We may get on each other's nerves at times, but that's what you call a family. We're just a proud family of L'Arches. Well, I think we should have a L'Arche Pride Month to celebrate all L'Arches in all communities. That'd be like a cool idea and have a big event out of it. Okay, Michael, what is L'Arche for you?
Thanks so much, Nick. And that's a really cool idea. If we were to have a L'Arche Pride Month, but let's actually just make it more bite-sized. A L'Arche Pride Day. What sort of stories would you hear? Would there be more stories like yours, Nick, where someone is put in the back room of their lives, but then through community they're encouraged to reclaim center stage and catch that L'Arche pride, as you put it? I think for my talk, I'm going to lean into that and conceptually ask myself if I could put some of the most beautiful moments of L'Arche that I've seen or heard and compress it into just 24 hours, what would that look like? So sometime during that day, a guy named Loïc and his brother would be turned away from Lourdes, the holy place known for miracles. They'd be turned away because of their disabilities. And a few minutes later, you'd have 12,000 pilgrims from 18 countries walking arm in arm, chanting and singing and carrying their friends and loved ones with disabilities through the tiny cobblestone streets. And they would be praying for a miracle, but not the one you're thinking of, not a miracle to cure someone from a disability, but a miracle of curing society of segregation. And sometime during that day, 3 people in L'Arche, Ukraine are going to take an overnight train to the capital city, Kiev, so they can meet with the president's delegate to try to stop institutionalization in their country. Since once you're put in an institution, you usually only have about 2 years before you die. And sometime during that day, in Argentina, a doctor is going to tell a mother that her blind and autistic son will never learn to communicate or write or read. But when you meet him, not only will he read and write Braille, not only will he speak Spanish fluently, not only will he know all the lyrics to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts, but when you meet him, he will just have received his first kiss from his first crush. And sometime during that day, a 3-time cancer survivor who was told that he wouldn't live past 10 years old is going to remind young people what strength looks like. And sometime during that day, bombs are going to fall over the streets of Syria, and an assistant is going to walk those same streets to get to a L'Arche workshop so they can make chocolate-covered oranges together. And sometime during that day, in L'Arche, Egypt, it's going to be tea time. But when it's tea time, you'll notice that even though there's maybe 25, 30 people crowded around, nobody's asking anybody how many sugars they want in their tea, because everybody knows exactly how many sugars everybody else wants in their tea. And sometime during that day, a L'Arche assistant in Italy is going to translate the Lord of the Rings into a symbol language so that one particular corps member can have the joy of reading J.R. Tolkien. And sometime during that day, L'Arche Japan is going to have such an effective soap making factory that they'll reach the holy grail of nonprofits to become self-sustainable. And in that very moment, instead of talking about how they could increase their revenue, they're going to talk about how they can now offer jobs to people who have more profound disabilities and less access to the working world in Japan. Thus choosing, instead of return on investment, what we believe is more interesting, which is return on inclusion. And sometime during that day, there would be funeral directors, probably thousands of them, wearing baffled looks on their faces, because they'd be saying, how come a woman who never spoke in her life, who never walked her first step, who never went to school, how come she packed the church? How come she inspired so much kindness in so many people? And then towards the end of that day, you'd start to notice around 11:59 at night that everybody is wearing masks, and that a movement which has defined itself by creating social proximity where there once was distance is now forced to create social distance where there once was proximity. And then wait a second, you'd see people showing up at doorsteps. Then you'd see people driving up in caravans of cars, honking for birthdays and weddings and baptisms and christenings. Then you'd see people singing together, signing an ASL together. Then you'd see community leaders becoming experts in public health. Then you'd see Brock, with no arms, sewing masks for his neighbors with his feet. Then you'd see the ambulances going up and down our street, and inside the largest factory that makes those ambulances, you'd see a man from L'Arche who, like Nick, was used to being kept in the back. But he caught that L'Arche pride, and he got a job at one of the largest ambulance manufacturers in the world. And what you'd see is that because he cares about people so much, not only did he help manufacture the ambulance that takes your body to the hospital, but he also created a new company tradition, collecting cans, 120,000 of them over the past 10 years, so that he could send money to people with intellectual disabilities in Haiti. Nick remembers the actual day when he joined L'Arche. I remember the actual day when I joined L'Arche. And the reason I think we both remember that is because it's such an incredible feeling to be a part of this type of day, to belong to this type of day, because we're only here so briefly, and for how long none of us know.
Well, we continue to tour the Arch Grounds here, downtown St. Louis. What a beautiful day we have for our taping. Hope you're enjoying the program. We thank Michael and Nick for sharing their story as well. And now we want to get it real local here in St. Louis with some of our core members and some of our assistants.
To the zoo, I guess my dad and you.
Going to the zoo with your dad, and I've come a couple times.
I have been spending lots of time with my housemates and watching movies.
You come here, yeah.
Come
So
here.
Monday, Wednesdays, you help me at the office.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays, you go to the date program.
we started have a mocktail hour on Saturday, and the drinks made fresh at sidebar, and then sitting together and talking about everything that we missed because of the COVID.
What's up?
You've been doing what?
Songs.
Singing a lot of songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bee Gees, Elvis.
Elvis?
Yeah.
Kentucky Rain?
Kentucky.
Yeah.
We have strawberry lemon cheesecake.
Oh my gosh.
That sound good?
Sounds so delicious.
Delicious.
I love it.
The hard part is not seeing my own family.
You can't hang out with your boyfriend, Robbie. Yeah, it's hard to see friends sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been calling them on the phone though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wear a mask right if I go somewhere.
Have to go wear a mask if you go somewhere?
If you've got an appointment.
In lockdown, I have been struggling with seeing my mom from afar and not working.
Yeah. It's been hard for you, right?
Your sisters weren't able to come visit as much, were they?
Yeah.
Was that hard?
No hugging.
No hugging. That's sad. Yeah.
Elbow hugs.
Right? Elbow hugs. I like
that. I like your shoe. It's nice.
I haven't been able to see you as much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice at day program you get to see all your friends, yeah.
All friends.
Get to see Mary Kate comes and
Okay.
yeah. Jordan and Kira and Amy.
This summer, I think we're gonna go on a house vacation.
Okay.
Do you know where we're going?
You got who?
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. I think we're gonna see some fireworks.
Firework.
Go on a boat ride.
What word?
Maybe eat some ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
To seeing our family. Oh, it's not.
Aren't you guys going to Wisconsin this summer?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
We going.
Our St. James is going to Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
What day in Michigan?
We're going in like the middle of June.
Yeah. We're going to July.
You're going in July?
Yeah.
Yeah, July 4th in Wisconsin. That's exciting.
I look forward to playing sports on a team, sleeping over my mom's house, and going back to work.
Yeah.
Halloween party and Valentine's and Christmas carols and ice cream socials, and we haven't had all that stuff, so we come over. We'll do all that.
I think this summer we're gonna start doing friendship dinners again.
Oh yeah, festive dinner.
Yeah.
It's inside White House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll all be able to get together inside.
In St. James.
Yep.
And Silver House.
Hello, my name is Greg Anderson, and I'm the chairman of the board for L'Arche St. Louis. Thank you so much for participating and supporting our annual Breakfast with Friends fundraiser. As you no doubt have experienced, it has been a very challenging year in which we've experienced many disappointments and scares related to everyone's health and well-being. But I've seen a lot of personal resilience from our core members and our assistants. And those groups have not only survived this pandemic, but they've thrived. And they've done so by staying focused on the things that truly matter. Listening, caring, and enjoying each other. Like life, L'Arche is all about relationships, giving and receiving. And so in that vein, we humbly ask that you join the Heart of L'Arche. Many of you are already members of Heart of L'Arche, and by doing that, you have enabled us in these unprecedented times to meet our substantial needs. As you may be aware, there is a shortcoming between what we receive in government assistance and what we require to be able to close that gap. And so today, on our 10th anniversary, we are offering Heart of L'Arche memberships for just $10 a month or for a 1-year annual contribution of $100. Please take this opportunity to join with all the other Heart of L'Arche members in becoming a critical part of this community. Thank you.
Martin Kilcoyne back with my sister, Paula. Last year, we were across the street from Busch Stadium, Ballpark Village. The Cardinals did play baseball and ended up in the playoffs. We'll take credit for that. Maybe the Arch is bound for some sort of national award. Who knows? But the whole point today is to get people involved. And it's l'ArcheSTLouis.org and become part of the Heart of L'Arche, which is really a way to be part of the inner circle of the things that are happening, impacting lives here in St. Louis. And we've had people who have kind of figured out different ways to get involved.
Yes. The Heart of L'Arche Society are those of you who are in our inner circle. You've been part of our journey this whole year, this challenging year for all of us, and we've been in it together. We send you stories, snippets of our life, and that can continue this year if you renew your membership or sign on as a new Heart of L'Arche member. We have different levels. You can find the one that's right for you. Our good-hearted members in the Heart of L'Arche Society contribute $10 a month or a one-time gift of $100 annually. Our big-hearted members give $500 annually, and our gold-hearted members contribute $1,000 a year to sustain our mission of planting hope and changing lives of those in our community in the greater St. Louis area. Thank you so much for going to our website, l'ArcheSTLouis.org, to find the Heart of L'Arche membership that's right for you, and we'll keep our commitment to keep you in that inner circle and keep you updated of life in our community and where you can participate. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to have everybody here. Next year in person, not just so we can be together, but Pauline is going to be singing karaoke, okay? I'm holding her to that next year at the 11th anniversary, and it'll be the 7th breakfast. So plan on that. And in the meantime, just go to l'ArcheSTLouis.org.